All right, appreciate you guys being here. Felt good to get back on the right track. Felt like, we had some work to do this past week and get ourselves back playing good on the offensive side, and really proud of the way our guys went and won a road game. I thought, overall, I was really pleased with the effort. I did, obviously the turnovers are something that was disappointing for sure, but the one thing I was really proud of is our penalties. I don't think we had one penalty, Jonathan, that's right, it's on offense, so really proud of that, and something we really emphasized after the previous week of having several penalties there to kill drives. And when you play good football and you don't penalize yourself and do dumb things to kill drives, you got an opportunity to score points most of the time. So I was really pleased with that. Obviously the turnovers we got to work on. Overall, man, just really pleased. We ran the ball well. I think we had over 300 yards rushing or close to it, and obviously throwing the football, I thought we did some nice things too. Good to see our offense get back in a groove, so to speak, and obviously we need another good week of practice with a big challenge this week playing here at home. So, questions?
What did you like most about John Rice's performance, and how important was it for somewhat of a young quarterback with not a whole lot of starts or but to have a bounce back game? How big was that?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, John Rice is obviously you can see he's an explosive guy. I mean, he makes plays with his feet, but he really threw the ball well the other night, I thought, and put the ball in didn't put it in jeopardy near as much, and I think that's always important from a quarterback's perspective. I think he did a great job of staying with the plan. In other words, staying with his reads, going through his progressions like he's supposed to, and making really good decisions on some RPOs that we have built in. The under center snap was disappointing. The most disappointing thing to me, because we do that a lot. We do it every day in practice, and obviously we've done it in the games before. But overall, really pleased with his effort. I was he kind of energizes our offense. When he makes a big play and he plays with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and I think it helps the other guys and motivates everybody on our team. So overall, really pleased with his performance.
What did you think of his flip into the end zone?
Of his what?
His flip, his end zone dives.
Yeah. Well, it's scary. I'd rather him not do that, but what was funny about that play, it was a wild play for sure, and he jumped up and was pumped. So when I saw him get up and excited and all that, I felt pretty good about it. But we've watched that together today, and I've tried to ask him not to do that again. It's not going. No, the guy plays with a lot of passion. He plays with a lot of energy. I mean, he's not one of these quarterbacks that's timid and afraid. Which. I think the key to that is making good decisions. Some of the better quarterbacks, I think, in the country that in the last few years, I just go back like Kyler Murray's and those kind of guys that are dual threat. Even Joe Burrow, the year he was at LSU, the guys that really are able to make plays with their feet, but they also make good decisions on when to get down and when to go out of bounds. That's the things that he and I talk about a lot, and we need to make sure we try to limit his exposure, so to speak, and another time he slid and then got hit, so they got a penalty and the guy got ejected. So there you go, you do the right thing and you still get hit. So football's a physical game and it's a tough game, and I understand that, but we want to try to limit the exposures, especially the ones that we can control. But luckily for us, it worked out, and it was a big touchdown at the time.
How important was it to have Ryan O'Keefe back, just from an offensive standpoint? Another weapon out.
Yeah, extremely important. I mean, he's a huge factor. Obviously the week before he goes out, and don't get me wrong though, really excited about Xavier, but obviously he's just a young player. Doesn't have near the experience and the things that Ryan had. But I thought Ryan looked good. He played fast. He did a great job this past week of really trying to get himself ready to play and all the rehab he could get, and spent a lot of time in the training room, and we need him to be healthy again this week.
How'd you like your offensive line in this one? How did they perform?
I thought it was better. They were doing some things in the interior there on the inside zone game, kind of widened it up a little bit. And, we didn't get a lot of creases, but when we got into our gap game and got on the perimeter, I think that was our answer for that. But their defense, I thought, did a nice job up front. They got some decent players up there that do a good job, and they kind of wadded it up on us on the inside zone. And then, but we had the answers, and that was getting on the perimeter. But overall, I thought those guys played much better as well.
From your perspective, what happened on that interception that John Rice threw? He called it a silly mistake after the game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Looking at it, talking to guys, he just didn't see the guys. All he said. So it's growing pains, I guess. Sometimes when you throw it, I used to tell our guys, you throw it 30 or 40 times, there's going to be one or two that, you want back, and I'm sure that's one of them there. But that's disappointing thing about that is we've repped that for forever, and you know, we've got to do a great job getting his head around and seeing that defender. He just didn't see him.
And how big was it from your perspective, like when you make a mistake like that, you see the defense keep points on the board?
I said that upstairs. I was like, you know, when we blocked that field goal, I said that could be a huge turning point just for our team, just for our, you know, hey, we make a mistake, defense goes down and responds, or defense makes a mistake. I think they scored a touchdown early. We went down and responded. That's what you see good teams do, I think, is play off each other. And that was a huge deal. And I think the thing that goes unnoticed, Alec Holler, I think, is the guy that ran him down on the interception and kept him from scoring. And, you know, the same thing happened in Savannah State. If you remember, Ryan and JR both were chasing the guy, and Ryan made a tackle, and we held him. Did it miss field goal there too, I think? Or I don't know. We held him out of the end zone, though.
Yeah.
So, and those are things that tell you that you got the right kind of guys, and they believe in what you're doing, because when you look at, if you go back and watch that film, I mean, you got 5 or 6 guys, just extreme effort trying to run those guys down, and then when they see it pay off and it's rewarding like that, it makes it even easier to coach them to do it.
Coach Malzahn talked about Alec Holler and said he does a lot of the dirty work.
Yeah.
When you watch film and you see him play, what all is he doing during the
Yeah, dirty work just for coaches, like he's that guy that can play inside and outside the box. You know, he's at the point of contact on a lot of our runs, or at least is an important part of it. And, you know, he's also capable of getting out in space and making plays they showed the other night. And probably a lot of it is because he just slips out when nobody's expecting it. But just really smart, really intelligent, can play multiple positions. Is a guy that when you need something done, you put him in the game and tell him one time and he'll do it. Just, I think overall, just one of those guys that's kind of a blue-collar guy and loves UCF and loves playing college football and willing to do whatever it takes for our team.
Isaiah Bowser, what does he need to do to have better production with his rushes? Is it a little bit slower than expected in terms of that goes this season?
I think so. I think you know, obviously for him, he's a downhill bruising kind of runner, and obviously everybody keying on him and so forth. But you know, at the same time, you know, he gets a lot of 3 and 4 yard just runs that really is not a lot there, and he makes those runs. And you know, sometimes you got to be willing to do that. He is, and you know, he and Johnny are different kind of backs for sure, but both of them extremely valuable to our team, especially when you get down in the red zone. You know, Isaiah being as big as he is, that's a huge benefit.
How big was it to get RJ Harvey in there, get in the end zone?
Yeah, I think it was really good. Confidence builder for him. Really happy for him. I know he went through an injury last year, and you know, he looked fresh too. You know, when he went around the end, one of those longer runs. I mean, you could tell he was. And I think our team responded when he scored. You saw a lot of guys happy for him, which is always nice. And RJ's really talented. Still a young player. He's going to be a really good player for us.
You mentioned Xavier earlier. What is most surprising about what he's shown you so far?
You know, I think just his maturity, just really, he's really caught on to what we're doing fast. You know, that adjustment from high school to college football is usually a big adjustment. He's handled that very well. You know, from what I understand, I wasn't here when we recruited him, but, you know, played a lot of running back in high school. So now, you know, lining up at wideout a lot. I mean, that takes a little bit of time, and I think they moved him around from what I understand, but in high school. But just to be a full-time wideout now, and all the details of route running and where to line up and splits and who to block on the perimeter and all those things, he's really come on fast. You can tell it's important to him. You can tell he loves football. And I think recruiting these days, the number one thing is recruit guys that love football, because it's a grind. You know, you got to be willing. Not on top of all we do, you got to be a student. You got to do all those things right. But really pleased with his process with his progress so far. I think he's going to be a really good player.
After Louisville, with penalties, wiping touchdowns off the board, some stalled drives, I'm sure the offense wasn't feeling great after that one, but to come back and have an all-around performance like this, how important was it for those guys, just from a momentum boost heading into Georgia Tech?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, you know, the football season, it's a long season, so you're going to have some ups and downs. You want to kind of stay even keel, never too high, never too low. You see that around college football. This past weekend, some guys had big wins the week before and either got beat this week or struggled. So, you know, we understand it's a long season. We have a mature team. I think they understand that. Nobody's panicked. But we need to play to our expectation, not, you know, each and every, no matter who we line up against, we hold ourselves to a high standard, and it really comes down to playing good football. You know, if you think about it, good football still wins. You know, limit your penalties, limit your turnovers, you know, be good on third downs. I mean, it's just really red zone, you know, take advantage of all of those opportunities to get points, And if we can do those things consistently, we'll have a chance to have a really good offense.
Even though it's just a bus trip away, how important is it to win a game on the road?
Yeah, I think it is. You know, that was our first road trip this year, obviously, and it's different, you know, because you're obviously a lot of times we'll fly, but this one was a bus ride, and just being in not in your comfort, I guess, or being in, you know, the home hotel that we stay in. Everything's a little different. Meeting rooms are set up different. You know, and then when you play at night, like we did late at night, you got all day on game day to kind of go through your routine. But one thing Coach does, he does a great job of trying to keep our routine the same, no matter if we're home or away. And the sign of a mature team usually handles that well. And that was a positive. I thought we handled the road trip very well.
And it's so early in the week. Do you know much about Georgia Tech?
I don't. I'll be honest with you. I haven't had time yet. We'll start that tonight as soon as I'm done here, actually. I know that, you know, obviously, you know, they'll have a good football team for us. I'm sure they'll be ready to go, but I don't know much about them yet.
Do you have connections with that staff or anyone? I know you coach high school up there. That doesn't necessarily mean you got connections there.
Yeah, no, I know some of those guys, you know, pretty well, I guess. But man, this business, you've been around like I have. You know a lot of people, a lot of places. But you know, we need to focus on getting better this week and improving, getting everybody ready to go. And like I said, a lot of times it's not about who we're playing. It's more about, hey, let's play good football. Let's do what we're supposed to do. Control what we control, and go play fast and see what happens.
After the Louisville loss, how did you go back and look at the play calling to put John Rice and the offense in a better position in this week's game?
Not really. I mean, you know, it came down to execution. If you remember, we had penalties that stopped drives. We had, you know, opportunities that we didn't take advantage of. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's just about playing clean football. No matter what plays called or it's, you know, it's so funny. It's really not about plays. Everybody runs a lot of the same plays. I don't know if you look around the country because you see everybody doing similar stuff. It's more about who executes at a high level and who plays sound football, like I said, with the penalties and turnovers. So, you know, we you know, obviously different defenses present different things. You play an odd front, you play an even front, you play a one high team or a two high team. So there's certain things that are better, obviously, but at the end of the day, everybody's got those things in their offense, and you just try to cater it each week depending on who you're playing.
What do you want to see your team do this week to build off of the FAU win?
You know what? I just continue to play well, keep our momentum, really focus on the details of what we're trying to do, and execute. It comes down to execution. Obviously, without seeing anything on Georgia Tech yet, I have no idea what that'll be yet, but looking forward to this week. All right. All right, appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Have a good day.